Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Mocktails podcast. I am one of your co-hosts, your favorite Auntie T, and I have with me
D.
And it's me, your girl Bree.
All right, and so we're gonna jump into this episode today. A lot of pregnant people in the media, and we just kind of want to touch on some of their situations and some things like that right now. So I think the most recent one of this time is Danny Lay. So she has just confirmed that she is pregnant. I'm not sure how far along she is.
But it appears to be pretty far along.
Pretty far along. No father has been mentioned.
Officially.
No father has been announced.
Everybody knows, or everyone has their ideas of who.
That ain't the baby, that's my baby.
Right.
You know.
And she's carrying the baby.
We know who the baby daddy is.
The baby daddy.
Simple.
And so, okay, what are your initial thoughts around that? So she has been with child probably longer than she was actually in a relationship with this man. And then two, just her like behavior when she was with the guy and how she was trying to like basically like stunt on his other baby mama. The Yellow Bone is what he wants song. Terrible song one. And just all her little, subliminal posts and things like that. And then obviously they broke up. But now we don't know for sure if that's his child, but allegedly that's what people are saying, is that it's the baby's child. And so just what's your thoughts around that situation?
In general, I went immediately to see the comments underneath the post, just so I could get some entertainment out of it. Because everybody feels pretty much the same way. Well, not everybody. A lot of people feel the same way. It's like she already felt some type of way, and now that she's gonna be, now that she is carrying a black baby, she's gonna. I feel like she's still gonna. That energy that she had at the beginning, I feel like she's gonna bring it back, or like it's gonna be exponentially worse.
You do?
I think it is. Don't you like when?
No, go ahead.
I'm gonna go. I just gotta figure out how I'm wording it. You know how they have the meme of the lady, the haircut for people who have black kids?
Oh yeah,
I feel like she's gonna have that energy.
Really?
Yes, because she's already trying to act like she's something, which I think has been proven that she's not, like Afro-Latina, and she's like putting on, maybe not putting on.
Do you think she's gonna be humbled by this though? I felt like when she broke up with him, she felt like she needed to swallow her spit, basically.
Maybe so, but then now that she's gonna have a black child, I don't know if that's gonna make it better or worse. I don't know.
Interesting.
It'll be interesting to see. Yeah.
I don't know a lot about her. I heard that one song and I was like, ick. Yeah. But it's weird. Like you said, you've been pregnant longer than you were in a relationship with this person. So it's a messed up situation to me.
Yeah, it's messed up, and like my only thing is I don't want to the child didn't do anything, and I try to want to remove that child has nothing to do with their parents' actions. And so as much as I didn't like the fact that she was trying to stunt on a dark-skinned woman for making that song and all this whatever situation that she has with colorism and this, that, and the third, I'm trying to be happy that she's I like pregnant women. I want their pregnancies to be healthy and right. Yeah. So I don't want people's comments to bash her, but at the same time, I was like, "Woof, this is."
You understand?
I think that's where she's coming from. So long. Well, I don't know how long it's been, but people were calling her as pregnant a while ago.
Yeah, right. People were in the comments like, "We've been knowing."
Right.
Which I was like, is it because of her the way she was behaving? Did people know? Because I didn't think anything of it, but I also don't follow her as closely.
Only because of the comments on Shade Room, I would go to her page and I could see she started, because when artists wear tight clothes and they're always wearing barely any clothing, and they go straight to wearing big baggy stuff, that's your first thought, and then it was how she was doing certain things. It was
she's trying to hide it,
which she has that right to do, but
for sure
she was just in a lot of
Yeah. It's just funny. She just had her baby shower and no father was there. And somebody, one of the funniest comments I saw was, Nick Cannon would have showed up. And I was like, period. He'd be there for every photo shoot.
Everyone.
He gonna be there for every baby mama.
All of them.
And so let's, talk about Nick Cannon and his, I don't know how many at this point he gonna be having this year. But they're
so he's had four babies.
He has 2 sets of twins. And I think he has at least 2 more on the way. For sure.
This year?
Yes. There's another one pregnant for sure. He just delivered 2. Another set of twins, and I know there's one more pregnant.
Well, he had the one he had 3 babies in the month of June.
Like pregnant
twins. He had twins in June, and then he had one more baby.
Okay, and I think he has one more pregnant.
I didn't know about one more pregnant.
I think he got one more. I think he has 4 baby mamas at this point.
He has 4 baby mamas, 7 babies. 7 babies, 4 baby mamas. 2 sets of twins. Then he has 2 by 1
a lot to
woman.
keep up with.
Oh, that's so much. That's so much.
I just know it's a lot.
That's a lot. And his reasoning though is because he feels like he's been told from the Lord, I guess, that his days are numbered in a certain sense. Like he has some sort of illness.
He has lupus.
Yeah, and so he was saying he doesn't think he's gonna have this super long life. He doesn't necessarily say how old he'll be, but he doesn't think he'll have just this super long life, so he's trying to, be fruitful and multiply.
I don't like how he was taking the Bible, talking about being fruitful and multiplying and applying to his situation, where you're not married and you having multiple women pregnant at the same time. I don't think is that what Jesus would do? WWJD.
Of course not. Jesus is not shooting up no club. Period.
My main issue with it is if he does have limited time and he's making all these offsprings, they're all going to be fatherless. Every single one of them. Yes, they may have father figures, but they won't have their father.
And they may be financially set.
Right, they may be financially set, but they don't have their father.
And they don't have fathers in the home, because I'm sure that he's not living. All these women not living in the same house together with these children. So you're not around your kids. You're not following that traditional
of raising them and them seeing how you live your life and do things. Yeah.
And all I was having this conversation with somebody else who has a friend, older gentleman, and he has 14 kids by however many women. He's my friend was saying, oh, he takes care of all of his kids, and I was like, you cannot adequately take care of this many children with these many different households. That's not how that works. You cannot provide for them emotionally as a father, not just financially and whatever that means, but you cannot be an adequate parent being stretched thin over however many households. And we know you're not being the best parent you can be when you're not even, no. And so I think that's kind of this, where it's you're going to be stretched thin across however many mothers of your children you have. And so even if you did want to try to be a father while they're here, you're going to be stretched thin. You can't provide for them equally that.
Where do they live? Are they all in the
same
state?
The different area codes.
And then men think that they can just throw money.
Right.
What about the emotional piece? You're not going to be there emotionally for your kids.
Yeah.
You got to think about that part of being a parent too.
All of that, yeah. And
somebody gonna have daddy issues.
For sure, definitely. And it's not just the things you do for them, it's them seeing how you interact and move in the world and the decisions you make. And you can't replace that. So it's just a hot mess. I can't even.
No. And I typically like Nick Cannon as a entertainer, because I do feel like he has I feel like he has a more level-headed mindset than a lot of entertainers. But this piece, I'm just kind of
what?
Yeah, he a little off his rocker, but I think he has great visionary, he does his sectors, and he's a good businessman. He has his Ratchet Wild and Out crowd, and then he has his America's Got Talent families that he was, he knows how to.
Is it Mass Singer?
Mass Singer, he's gonna be in the different, genres, and so I like to think, typically he has a very good. He's a good, well-rounded entertainer. Mm-hmm. But this, man. And all the baby mamas be feel like they're like doing something when they post that they're having Nick Cannon's
Yeah,
child.
it's like a competition. And then the one that was like, she was the one I think she had posted with twins, or she was like, I'm just over here, worried about me, something along those lines. I was like, ooh.
The one where he was like, they had the twins and he was on one side, she was on the other with their family photo.
I think it was just her and the twins.
Oh, okay.
In this photo she posted.
Because I was going to say, I saw that one. And they were like, baby mama number 3. I'll be like, why he touching her hand? I was like,
she was baby mama 3. Because like baby mama 1 is Mariah. Right. Baby mama 2, she just had 2 regular babies.
Yeah.
And then baby mama 3 had the twins, and then baby mama 4 just had a baby in the same month as the twins.
Fertile.
So how is he different from Future?
He's not.
Okay.
Well, I guess he's probably more there as a father, more present.
In Future bashes his children's mother, which is not appropriate at all. And I think Nick is really going in like he's thinking, I'm building this empire or kingdom or whatever. Mm-hmm. Future is just, he just running wild. Yeah. Like he not, no strategic plan. He just like, if it happens, it happens.
And then we're gonna go to court over whether I'm the father, and then we're gonna fight over the child support.
Right, And Nick was like, the people who are getting pregnant by me are the ones who I'm choosing to get pregnant. Because obviously I could have had, if you see I'm doing this now by choice, how many do you think I could have had? Yeah. And, so I think he's at a certain point being strategic, stupid.
It's still broke.
Yeah, I don't like it, but,
Oh, and just the back to back and the women, I just, I'm too territorial for that.
It's like sister wives.
Yeah, I mean, but a lot of women be sister wives and don't even know it. Even without the money, I'd rather have one with the money than not. So if I'm gonna have that, at least let me have, the one that gonna be there for the photo shoot and that got the money. So secure the bag a little bit. But I don't know.
Oh God.
It's just, it's one of them things. And then like Cardi B is pregnant again, which congratulations to Cardi and Offset. I think Culture is so cute.
She's adorable.
There was this video that they posted of Culture laughing just like Cardi. It's so funny. I was like, that's so ironic. Like she does that. I'll have to send it to y'all. But so thinking about Nick Cannon, all the baby mamas, Offset. Now Cardi B is wife, but going into it, Offset already had three children and three baby mamas.
Yeah.
So when you are thinking about dating a man with children, how do we feel around that? Because for me, yes, there's like a piece of it that like the number of kids makes a difference. I'm not saying that, but also the amount of baby mamas is what really kind of like does it. Yeah, like when I'm like, ooh, you were just loose with your DNA, and that's just
right. Because 2 kids from one baby mama is different from 2 kids with 2 baby mamas.
Yeah. Right, and then as you go on, and
I try to stay as low as possible.
So it's kind of like, I think probably the baby mamas plays more of a role to me than the number of kids.
Okay.
Not that I want a man with kids, preferably, but if I did happen to be with a man with children,
you would want limited.
Fewer.
Limited.
Yeah.
You have too many personalities if it's a bunch of baby mamas. Like kids are kids, but like baby mamas, that could be
we
double
gotta
the
navigate
drama.
that. Yeah, we're gonna have to navigate it.
Well, I would prefer 0 children and 0 baby mamas, but I guess 1 kid and 1 baby mama would probably be
You could do that. You could
possibly
compromise.
I would try.
Okay. Okay.
But the preference would be 0.
Yeah, that's the preference. But you think you could be open to?
Yeah, I guess.
You're right.
Well, at 30, you're like, well, maybe there, it could, he might have a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. So for me, I think 0 or 1 child is equal for me. Like it doesn't, like having a child isn't necessarily a deal breaker. It won't change anything for me. But what matters is how they are in that child's life. Like how active they are in the child's life. Like where does if the child lives in another state, I might be a little skeptical about that. Like, and what your relationship is with the mother of the child would play a role as well. But I'm not against it.
Unless specifically, well, and that would be the hard part though. How would you know, like, what if there is legitimate, like, baby mama is crazy?
I wouldn't want to.
That's an issue.
Baby
mama was crazy.
Is that
even if he's trying and he's actively trying? If the baby mama is crazy, that is a deal breaker for me. Because that'll be something if we're talking about marriage, I would have to deal with that for the rest of my life. And so that's like a package. Even though she's not in a relationship, I'm still tied to her, and his kid or kids are also tied to her, and that plays a role. Even if he's a good father and he's trying to be active, that's still a part of the package. Like, it's still inviting chaos into my life, and I still have the option to say I don't want that, even if they're a good person. But because what if she tries to kill me? I've seen movies. Like, what if I'm the next, one on her list, and she don't like me? Like, that's a part of the relationship with the baby's or the child's mother that all plays a role in it for me.
Interesting.
I agree with Danielle.
If there is like legit, for me, if I know he's trying and she's just like really the problem, I'm more willing to like work with him, because we would have to figure out a way to like, I think I could help him navigate it a lot more or easier, and I would try to relate to her as a woman and be like, I'm not trying to whatever. I sit down and have that conversation. It would suck, if she continues to be rude or whatever, dysfunctional, but I wouldn't knock him necessarily, because I'm like, what if he was young and they just happened to, he wasn't wise at the time, got with somebody and she was off kilter or changed into that, as because some people do that, when they're, especially when they have children involved, and so it's hard for them to let that relationship go, or
I wouldn't just say right off the bat she's crazy, we can't be together. Like, of course it would be a relationship and us trying to figure it all out, and then if
it's just too much,
I wouldn't consider marriage.
Interesting.
And it wouldn't just be him calling her crazy, because a man
crazy
that's different.
That's why I was like, you would have to get to that point.
Like, really doing some crazy stuff.
Right.
Like,
I don't trust any man that says she was crazy.
What did you do?
Right.
No.
let me talk to her first.
Let me speak to her.
Let me see what her side
is. That may be like, that's a whole different like situation, because she might not be crazy. She just might be a little.
He may have not navigated
bitter,
things right. Yeah, or bitter, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah.
So, does number of baby mothers matter to you?
It plays a factor. I would want to say 1. In my mind, 1 is ideal.
And he can have multiple children, though. Like,
it would depend on the situation.
Because you're comfortable with being a stepmother, correct?
I'm perfectly fine with that. Yes.
So, what's the limit of? Do you have?
I don't have a limit right now. I think it would depend on the situation that the children came to be. Like, if they were on and off again, like for many years, that probably wouldn't be a thing for me.
But he'd probably easily jump back.
That, or maybe if they were like in a relationship, maybe we might need to talk about that too.
What about divorce?
Divorce, like if they were married, they were divorced and they had kids, like, but it was still with one person. And
I'm more willing to do that.
Yeah,
I think I would be too. I forgot what the main question was, but yeah, that's my
stepkids, a number of them.
Yeah, I would say 1 to 2. I don't picture more than 2, but like I said, it depends, because I am okay with being a stepmom, mainly for the fact that if I have, and this is my logic, I don't know how it will work out, but if I have stepkids, I may be less likely, not required to have kids, but
it won't be
as to have them yourself.
Yes, if I have
won't be as pressed.
That's what my thinking is. Yes, and I'm okay with that.
One more question on that, and I'm gonna ask you the same questions.
Okay.
With the stepkids, is there an age limit? So can they be like 3? or 2?
Like I said, it would depend upon the situation that brought the children into being. Of course, they could be an infant, unless the mother died or something.
She said, your mother has to be dead.
She gotta be gone. No, I'm kidding. She has to be dead, but like, of course there's an age. I've never like thought specifically of what age the child is off limits, but no fresh babies.
I know.
Yeah,
fresh babies.
I'm in agreement. Nothing straight from the womb. 'Cause, like, he could be like seeing like her taking care of his newborn baby, and he could fall in love and hop back in that situation. So babies would be a no for me. I would say I would toddlers, maybe like 3. That I'd probably be
3 years
okay with that.
3 is okay.
Yeah.
3 years.
I know. I'm like,
but it's hard to. It depends on their situation. What if it was like a one night?
But then I'm like, what if you left the baby? How fast did you have to have left that moment?
Yeah.
For you to have a 3-year-old and not be with that mother.
Yeah.
So that you're trash
because
you you weren't caring about the child, and because then I started thinking about that. I don't know. It's hard.
What if they
That's
have
why,
like a
that's why the preference would be 0 kids, 0 baby mom.
And that's fair. It's just I feel like as you get older, it is going to be harder.
That I'd be more open to a divorce father than
just
somebody just out there impregnating a bunch of women.
What if it was impregnating one woman? You would choose.
If they were in a serious relationship,
yeah, that's what I mean. A serious relationship.
Yeah,
they have
but
2
they just
kids.
out here having,
So which would you choose?
Babies.
I know that's hard to do. So you have one man who was in a serious relationship, has 2 kids, versus a man that was divorced and has 2 kids, same age, same distance apart in age. Which would you ideally pick?
That'd be tough.
Yeah,
because I'd be wanting to know the background, like all the background on the situation. Like why the first, the one with no marriage, like why weren't y'all married?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the same way.
And then for the divorce one, it'd be like, why'd y'all break up? Were y'all really working at it?
Yeah.
Like,
Right. Did you
how
do
serious
everything?
did you take marriage?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
All those questions. What about you?
I've messed with men with kids before, and
What was that?
they're just the quality of men with kids is very different. And I mean, granted, some of those men were married because they weren't telling me that they were married, but like the quality of them, men with kids, I just feel like if I'm able to be however old I am and manage to not have children, it makes me wonder how. Like, I just, what mindset do you have to be in to be so comfortable with just being a parent? Like, just like, and just like, I'm gonna just have a kid. Like, for me, when I was younger, setting up my life to be in a certain way. And to me, a man who had a child, because I'm assuming the man probably had his child in his early 20s or something. That's what I naturally think. Now, granted, if you're older than that, the less I give you passes on. Because I'm like, okay, now, you should have been, wrapping that thing. Doing everything you could to prevent it. And so if you didn't prevent it, why didn't you do that at that point? Versus, I mean, if they were a little younger.
Accident babies. They do.
You talking about they were using some form of birth control and they still got pregnant?
Very
I think it's few, but it happens.
It happens, but very few. And then at that point, if you did have an accident child, why didn't you stay with that person? Because anybody that you lay down with, you got to understand that's a potential person that you're going to have a child with. And if you're not thinking like that, to me, that's just irresponsible. You got to be okay with being like, well, we gonna ride this wave till the wheels fall off.
You gotta be okay with co-parenting.
Or, trying to make things shake and bake. So it's like, I would just really have to figure out his mindset. I don't really want a man with kids. I've done that before. I'm not saying I'm not open to it. I would ask men to be very straightforward though and upfront. Do not hide the fact that you have children right away. I know some people do that, men and women. They hide that they have children.
Right, but some people are fine with it. So that
But I think it makes you feel less. If you know the person you're dating doesn't have children and you do, you're less likely, I think, to tell them because you don't want them to feel like,
But at this age, you just lay all your cards on the table.
That's what you hope, but if you really like somebody and you don't want them to judge the fact that,
I understand.
Because then you start, let you say the wrong number and I'm going to be, out the door. So.
But you should take pride in your children. It is what it is at this point. You have them little crumb snatchers. It is what it is. And anybody who's not willing to accept that is not for you, and that's fine. So just be honest. Don't waste time. Because you're just wasting time
at the point,
Because if it's someone who says that's a deal breaker, you're wasting each other's time, like your time and her time.
Yeah. To me, I'm like, I think you should disclose that early on, and be truthful about the amount that you have, because that also happened to me too, little liars. But
I have a friend who, about this topic, she said she would not date a man with kids because she likes to be the center of attention, and she always came second. She dated a guy with kids.
Does she want kids?
No.
Okay.
She didn't want kids, but he has, I think, 2 kids. I don't remember the situation exactly, but she said he would always.
Well, then she should have that. Then that'd be best. It'd be best for her to have a man with no kids.
Mm-hmm.
For her not to have any kids if she wants to be the number one center of attention.
Yep.
But I think. Would it have changed though if they were married? Because if my expectation, I don't think I would necessarily come before your children right away because we're not married.
Yeah, you're not married.
And then the structure and the order of the family that God has planned, it does spouse before children. But if I'm not your spouse, then am I supposed to take precedent? Yeah. When is that transition supposed to happen? I don't know. But because I would want to see there's some transition to be like, okay, you're gonna start to have to put me first before these little nuggets, type of thing. If we're moving to that direction, but early on, I could see you being like, oh, I gotta do this or that, and I'd be like,
and then she was saying he was going to like games, or I don't know if this is a real story. I cannot remember if she said he would like hypothetically be going to the games, and then she would have to tag along with him to the kids' games, and she's like, I don't want kids.
Yeah,
she don't want kids. Yeah, which is fine, but
she should just end it. Don't waste no more time. Go find you a man with no kids.
No matter how fine he was, But that I think would be, if he's allowing you to come to his and like integrating in the family, I think that's cute.
That's not what she wanted.
Yeah. But if you don't want that, that's
But I think it takes a lot for a parent to, the parents I had, they was wanting me to meet them kids. I said, F them kids. I don't want to meet them babies. But if a man at this point wanted me to meet his kids after it's been some time, and like we're doing these things, I think that's very honorable. Like it means a lot to you.
Yeah. I would think that means he was taking me seriously.
And he actually goes to the kids' games. That's good.
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
It's a good sign. Very true.
So I don't know. That's
case by case.
Case by case.
For sure.
So thinking of that, that was kind of, the man meeting, or the woman meeting the guy's kids and stuff. So on the show Ready to Love, Renisha and Joelle, there was something mentioned in the reunion about how she wanted to start spending the night, and he wasn't ready for that. He has some kids, whatever. I heard the backstory behind that. Anyway, thinking about that couple, we're just going with that couple, right? On that show, the man, Joelle, and Vernicia had this like misunderstanding or miscommunication about something. And it was in regards to their relationship status and if they were actually in a relationship. So Renisha said that they were exclusively dating. And so, therefore, in her mind, that's her man, her boyfriend, her...
And they were in a relationship.
Relationship, significant other. And Joelle said that they're not in a relationship, but they're just exclusively dating. So, what are the thoughts? Is there a difference between exclusively dating and being in a relationship? Or is that just some sort of thing to make the dude feel more comfortable by not having titles? Because one of our guy friends, he says, there's a difference. I'm not muddying the water. At Chuck, because I can call you out specifically. That's okay. You're part of the crew, so I know you don't feel bad. But what's the difference, if there's a difference, between exclusively dating and being in a relationship?
To me, it's just a thing to say to keep from saying boyfriend and girlfriend. Like exclusively dating, you're not seeing anybody else, so it's just this phony step in between officially being boyfriend and girlfriend. It seems silly to me.
Okay. A phony step.
Yeah.
You standing by that?
Yeah.
That's your man and you gonna stand beside him?
Would I stand beside him?
No.
You didn't say we were exclusively dating?
No, I was just saying your point of view.
The TikTok, that's my man. I'm gonna stand beside him. It's a real, it's on Instagram. No? Where they have the man like doing something crazy in the background.
It was
and the
Steve
girl's like, that's my man.
I ain't seen that. I'm not.
Oh, well,
yeah.
It's not popular enough that it's made it into my Instagram feed.
Girl, you out the loop. You out the loop because that is
all
popular.
right. Okay. I would say that a relationship and exclusively dating in Danielle's life is the same thing. I don't understand the point of exclusively dating someone if you're not going to be in a relationship. Like, it's because you're not dating anyone else. Like, why wouldn't I date anyone else if we're not in a relationship? Like, we're not married. It's like you're taking that person off the market. Right. And just holding them on like reserve. Like, put them on layaway. Like, just so that I guess nobody else
has access to
I guess. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Like, what's the difference between that and a relationship? Nothing. To me,
yeah. Why don't you have the ability to want to put a title to this?
Right. What's that step that makes it a relationship versus
it's a phony step.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a phony. It makes you feel like, oh, we're progressing, but you're not really progressing. Yeah. He's just keeping you in this spot to keep you kind of comfortable. Yeah. Like, okay,
keep you there.
Special. Yeah.
Right. But doesn't want to put a title to it. And it's like,
how would he introduce you?
This is my exclusive.
This is my exclusive dating friend. No, we're not doing that.
It's my girl.
Period. Hello. Either that or you just gonna be my friend. Right. One of the two. Am I your woman or not? And that's what I was watching some of the interviews from Renisha afterwards, where she was like, I'm the type to multiple date, is what she said. She's like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna have multiple people. And so the fact that we decided to just be us, that means, okay, I'm cutting off everyone else for you. So that means we're in a relationship. If I'm making this decision to be with you, because that's what exclusively dating is. I'm making the decision to be with you only.
Exclusively. Yeah. Like just
you. What does that mean? Yeah, you're in a relationship and man up and buck up.
Right.
Buck up.
I can see if there were certain things that happen when you're dating exclusively that is different from a relationship. Well, maybe these people who have it, they do it differently. Like they have different.
You backpedaling?
Right.
No, it could make sense in my brain if they were to explain the difference between exclusively dating. Like if there's something different between.
Like
dating,
if
when you're exclusively dating, you don't do this. I don't know.
I see what you're saying.
What are
the parameters?
Like, you're not meeting family exclusively dating, but in a relationship, you're then going to meet family. Type of thing. Like,
like that could be something. Yeah, I would need, because the argument that our friend came up with, it didn't work for me.
I don't even remember what he said. I was just so I was rolling my eyes too hard to
He
really
don't
listen
mind
to what
that,
he
though.
was saying. I was like,
it's the Virgo in him. It's the Virgo.
I don't know.
His was saying what though? Like it's the muddying of the waters, right? That's what he was saying.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like he's saying that's why he would exclusively date because I don't want to muddy the waters, but I just want to get to know you more with no distractions.
I don't remember because none of them stuck for me. Like none of them made sense.
Right? Nothing was like
Because
yes, that's right.
I think he also said that he's dated people exclusively, but then they never became his girlfriend.
Relationships.
So it's
yeah.
like, it's just confusing.
Join us on the podcast next time.
and everybody, if you have thoughts on it, please let us
tell
know.
Yes, to validate
Yeah.
the two different separations of exclusively dating and relationship. Please let us know.
I'm polling us on Instagram,
I like to learn.
so y'all answer us, okay?
I like to learn.
So questions. Let's find a question to talk about tonight. Pick a number.
What's the highest number?
Oh yes, 1 through 49 for now.
33.
Have we talked about this?
We have talked about this.
Okay. And the question, just so you guys can know, would you be okay with not kissing your partner before marriage?
We talked about that.
Another number.
There's her answer. 22.
Okay. We'll just change it to he. Does he always have to keep himself up in a certain way? The person who you're interested in or dating or whatever.
Do I have to answer first? Y'all both are
Yep.
looking at me.
I know, it's like,
Yeah. You
Does
picked the
he
number.
have
so-
to keep himself up in a certain way?
And appearance.
Appearance. I would say yes and no. Yes, in the sense that I feel like I'm required to, so it's equal. Like a woman can't just get in a relationship and just let herself go physically, whatever that means for that person. And I still have to at least try to look cute and pretty and, you know, all those things. So I feel like he would need to do the same thing as well, but not anything that's like unrealistic. Like you gotta weigh the same thing you did when you got in this room.
Right.
You gotta have them same muscles the whole time. Like that's not necessarily.
And women like a little teddy bear. You know, we like a little
gut, a little snuggle, a little meat, a little
So
healthiness.
kind of yes and no.
Your happy weight, your love weight.
Right.
Yeah, show me
Okay,
your love
Y'all,
by gaining a little weight.
Get happy, cause them hoes didn't have you happy before. You happy now. Get happy.
Well, I would say like you need to be grooming yourself. Like you need to be clean.
For sure.
You need to maintain that aspect. But as far as weight, I'm not worried about weight gain as long as you're healthy. Like I don't want like, you know, you being like hundreds and hundreds of pounds to where it's not healthy, where you're, you know, gonna have health issues as a result. But like I said, you know, you like what it makes you, for me, it makes me feel a bit more comfortable if he was not some like statue, like sculpted body. Because I feel like I would have to like be holding up some kind of unrealistic, you know, standards for myself, and then I would be happy.
All I ask for me is that don't go too opposite of what I met you at.
Yeah.
So like I understand there's a level of like when we're in the house and comfortable, I don't mind you being comfortable because I would be comfortable. But at the same time, when we do go places, I want you to like how I met you going places is kind of how I want you to be. Yeah, keep that energy going on. I want you to be like
And be able to dress nice.
it's mine.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna stick beside him.
Because
Because I'm gonna have to stick beside him.
right. So you might as well like make each other like make it worth their while.
Yeah.
Both.
Because we're gonna be turned on too.
If I was Beyonce, I'd probably cut Jay-Z's hair in his sleep.
I mean,
She might be okay with it. It doesn't bother me, so I think it depends on the person.
Yeah, I like seeing
hate
people
it. I hate
transition
it.
in life, you know, to their different styles. Because I know I've looked different
I
through
hate
life.
She must not hate it.
I guess she doesn't. I hate it.
Well, she also styled her hair for him for a while, like a certain color. He liked, I think it was the darker hair. of hers, there was an interview about it where he liked her in darker hair or more natural, and she started doing that for him. So maybe she doesn't mind it.
And I mean,
As
he
long as
wasn't
he
like the
stay edged
cutest ever, so
That's
you
what I'm saying,
know,
he was
she
never really like a
that's
rock.
hers.
And she goes,
Stick beside him. Period.
We're gonna have to
It just it looks dirty.
I don't mind it on him. I think it's, you know, he just trying to do something different, keep up with the times. That stuff doesn't bother me as much because he's still trying to be stylish with it.
Yeah.
But don't just become, like just put a little effort into it. Just a little bit. Keep your hygiene clean.
Yes.
You know, all of
We
that.
don't
but
want no smelly man.
no, I've had a really hygienic man recently, and I was just like, wow, this is so different. Like, he's even more hygienic than like normal men. Like, I was like, whoa, you care about washing your neck.
Washing your neck.
Yeah, I know I had salty neck bang. It was fine. So, but other than that,
I thought only white people didn't wash their necks.
They don't wash. Oh wait,
please.
They don't wash their legs.
Oh yeah, they
that.
just let the soap hit it in the showers. Yeah, they just let the soap run down.
I watched the video. I rewatched a video over that yesterday, where, long story short, there was a group of white people watching a black person like wash her legs, and they're like, "Oh my god! Oh my gosh!" I'm like, "Yep, that's it."
It's the difference. It's how we was raised, you know.
You watch every part of your body.
Yes.
Do we got time for
Leg
one
sweat too.
Right.
Wait,
Exactly.
what did you say?
Leg sweat too.
Oh yeah, they do.
You
we
want to
can
pick
do
a
one
question?
more.
You want to pick a number?
Pick a
Let's
number.
see.
Any number.
16.
Oh.
Oh, okay. What's your ideal age range?
Ooh.
Oh goodness.
Tell us
Let the
about it.
people know.
Tell us.
We've talked about this before. I said like
say it.
Seven.
again.
7 years
It's
up
okay.
would probably be the cutoff for me.
What about down? Nothing. Below?
Down would probably be no more than 2.
No more than 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's yours?
I'm like, should we go?
No, let's go in order.
Down. I don't do down. If anything, I will consider my age, but typically you have to be at least older than me, like by 6 months to a year at least. You got to be at least a year typically. I don't usually go my age or younger. Older.
And like, where we capping it at?
Where we capping?
She don't have no cap.
I do. So the oldest that I've entertained and been with was 17 years, my senior. But that I think is a special thing. I wouldn't typically go that high. I think typically at this point I'll probably cap it around like, let me see, 12 years or so, 13. At the max. But if they were, you know, if another 17-year-old age difference came along and I was
Fix that up.
Yeah.
You said
Oh.
I was like, fix it.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
you didn't mean it, but
up in age came around, and I was, you know, feeling it, I'd probably do the same. But it can't be no higher than 17 because then they weren't young parents, but they're young-ish enough. And once you start getting too close to parents' age, I can't.
You like this to be daddy.
That's right.
And not in the way that we want them to be. You know what I'm saying?
That's daddy.
Right. Just daddy.
Daddy,
Father.
not daddy.
Daddy.
Father.
Father.
Yeah.
For me, I would say about 4 years younger. So like 27-ish is my lowest.
Cradle robber.
No, I'm not that old.
That
I would
ain't the
say
baby.
that
That's
is
my baby.
I would say that is my cutoff. Like, I would not do anything younger than that. And then y'all are doing ranges, and I'm giving ages.
You said 4. That's.
Oh, did I say 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't say no
And
age.
then older. No more than.
She's not a fan of the old.
Stop.
She likes.
I would say
young.
no more than like
a year
9
or 2.
years. Under 40.
A year or
Under
2.
She like the baby.
Right.
Stop.
Get them young and teach them
No.
some.
Oh my god. Well, that was my answer.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah. I'm gonna probably have me somebody older. That's just what the case is for me.
And
I can see you're gonna have somebody younger, then you're gonna have
or
somebody
the
like
same
your
age. I'm probably gonna have the same age.
You're gonna have somebody younger, and you're gonna have somebody the same age.
After this, y'all gonna have to give me multiple examples because I feel like y'all only have one.
No.
You have multiple?
At least two.
Yeah, I feel like there's been two, right?
Two. That's nothing.
And you have an example, like your parental example.
Yeah, your mama was older.
Aren't your parents like that too?
My dad's much older than my mom.
Not much. 5 years. Mine.
Oh.
Mine's 8 months. My mom's older.
Well, that was fun, guys. Whatever.
It's okay. We like who we like, you know.
That's true.
They're not teenagers, so we're good. They're still adults, but you know.
I just, they say females mature faster than males, and it shows.
It shows. And even them older ones, that's why I get them older, because they be still sometimes need some help. But yeah, that's all the content for today. We're gonna do a Black-owned business shout out. So recently this week, we all went to Distinctive Vines Wine Lounge in Dallas, Texas, a new wine bar here, and Black-owned, has a DJ, good music, good vibe, good atmosphere, great deals, great service.
Good conversation. People are nice.
People are nice. It was a great spot. And so we just recommend you guys check them out if you're ever in the area. We'll definitely be back there. Support, go follow their page, show up, give them some business, things like that, and tell them that the Mocktails podcast sent you. So until next time, tune in again for another episode of the Mocktails podcast. Follow, and subscribe our pages, and we'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.